Welcome to this video, where we explore the top 3 most valuable Washington quarter-dollar coins, rare treasures that have turned ordinary-looking quarters into some of the most sought-after pieces in American coin collecting. These coins stand out because of extremely low mintages, special mint errors, and outstanding condition rarity. Let's get started. First up, the 1993 Washington quarter dollar with a D mint mark, appearing in dirty, heavily circulated condition. This coin carries decades of wear, marks, and discoloration, each part adding character to a quarter that has lived a long life in everyday commerce. The Washington quarter has been a familiar sight since 1932, originally created to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. By 1993, the classic design had reached 6 decades of service, continuing its role as one of America's most widely used coins. On the obverse, we see the left-facing portrait of George Washington, sculpted by John Flanagan. In dirty circulated condition, Washington's features often show patches of grime, dark toning, and surface dullness from years of handling. The word Liberty arches boldly above Washington's head. On a heavily used quarter, the letters may be spotted with dirt or show softened edges where friction has taken its toll. Below his chin sits the motto, "In God We Trust." Even in dirty condition, this inscription remains clear, though the space around it often contains darkened residue from the coin's circulation path. To the right of the portrait is the date, 1993, marking the year this coin was produced. The numbers may appear smudged with dirt or worn from repeated use, giving the date a softened, aged appearance. Right beside the date is the mint mark, D, indicating that this quarter was struck at the Denver Mint. The Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of quarters in 1993, making this a common yet essential part of the series. Dirty circulated examples often show dark discoloration collecting around the mint mark, giving it extra contrast or, in some cases, making it slightly harder to read. On the reverse, we see the traditional eagle design, used from 1932 until 1998. The eagle stands proudly with wings spread wide, clutching arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing both strength and peace. In dirty condition, the eagle's wings and feathers often appear darkened, with grime settling into the recessed areas and flattening the feather detail due to wear. Above the eagle is the inscription, United States of America. On a well-used quarter, these letters may display small nicks or dullness but usually remain easy to identify. Below that is E pluribus unum, the national motto meaning, out of many, one. Dirt often settles into the lettering, giving it a shadowed look that contrasts with the worn high points. At the bottom of the reverse, the words, quarter dollar, identify the denomination. On dirty circulated coins, this area sometimes appears streaked or darkened from pocket lint, oils, and environmental exposure. Circulated dirty quarters often display an uneven mixture of gray, black, and brown tones. These colors form naturally over years of handling, moisture exposure, and contact with other coins. The edges of a dirty 1993 quarter frequently show nicks, small dents, and deepened grime, all accumulated from decades of use in vending machines, cash registers, and coin jars. Despite the dirt, these coins hold enormous historical value, representing daily American life during the early 1990s, a time before smartphones, widespread digital payments, and modern coin designs. The dirt and discoloration on such a coin tell the story of its long journey. It may have passed through thousands of hands, crossed states, or been used in countless everyday transactions. Collectors often enjoy studying dirty circulated coins because they reveal authentic wear patterns, unaltered by cleaning or polishing. This raw condition shows the coin exactly as it was found. For new collectors, circulated quarters like this serve as inexpensive starting points for building a date and mint collection. They allow enthusiasts to learn grading and identification without high cost. Dirty coins also remind collectors why cleaning is discouraged. Attempting to remove dirt often damages the metal surface, reducing the coin's collectible appeal far more than the dirt ever did. The 1993 D quarter may not be rare, but its place in numismatic history is solid. It marks the final decade before the release of the State Quarters program, which would dramatically change quarter designs starting in 1999. Because this coin comes from the pre-statehood era, it represents the last years of the classic eagle reverse, a design many collectors still cherish today. Dirty circulated examples emphasize how resilient the Washington quarter's design truly is. Even with grime and wear, Washington's portrait and the eagle remain recognizable and iconic. Some collectors enjoy preserving circulated quarters with natural dirt because the grime can highlight small features or create unique visual contrast across the coin's surface. The 1993D quarter also offers a glimpse into the minting quality of the early 1990s. Many coins were well struck, though circulation has since softened their details significantly. If this quarter could talk, it would likely have countless stories, from being used at gas stations, grocery stores, payphones, and arcades, to sitting in pockets, purses, and glove compartments for years. Dirty condition adds personality, making each coin slightly different from the next. Some show dark heavy streaks, while others have light spotting, each a product of environmental differences. Even with dirt and heavy wear, this quarter continues to serve its purpose today. Many 1993 quarters still circulate in everyday change across the United States, a testament to their long lifespan. As we examine the coin surfaces, we see the passage of time etched into every contour. The dirt is not just grime, it's the visual proof of thousands of interactions with everyday life. This quarter has lived through 3 decades of American history, and its worn, dirty condition reflects the countless small moments that shape the life of a coin. As we wrap up this exploration, the 1993D Washington quarter stands as a humble reminder of the durability of U.S. coinage. Dirt and wear may cover its surface, but its story remains clear and compelling. Next up, the 1997 Washington quarter dollar with a P mint mark, found in circulated condition. Though common in everyday change, this quarter holds decades of history, design beauty, and the unmistakable marks of a long life in circulation. The Washington quarter has been a cornerstone of U.S. currency since 1932, created to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. By 1997, this classic design was nearing the end of its long run, soon to be replaced by the immensely popular 50-state quarters program in 1999. On the obverse of the coin, we see the familiar left-facing portrait of George Washington, sculpted by John Flanagan. In circulated condition, Washington's features often appear softened, with the high points such as the cheekbone, hairline, and jaw showing signs of wear. Above Washington's portrait arches the word, Liberty. On a circulated 1997 quarter, the letters may display tiny scratches or light dulling, evidence of years of contact with pockets, machines, and other coins. Just below the portrait lies the national motto, "In God We Trust." This inscription usually holds up well even after heavy circulation, though the area around it can take on a slightly darker tone due to natural handling oils and environmental exposure. To the right of the portrait sits the year 1997, marking the final moments before the major design transition that would redefine U.S. quarters. The numbers may appear rounded or lightly worn, depending on how much use the coin experienced. Right beside the date is the P mint mark, indicating that this quarter was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The presence of this mint mark helps distinguish it from Denver-issued coins and adds an important identifier for collectors assembling date and mint sets. Circulated conditions often leave the P mint mark slightly dulled or shadowed with grime, but its shape remains clear enough for easy recognition by collectors and enthusiasts. Flipping the coin over reveals the powerful and iconic eagle reverse, used on Washington quarters from 1932 until 1998. This bold eagle stands with wings spread wide, clutching arrows in its talons, symbolizing national defense and readiness. Below the arrows rests an olive branch, representing the country's commitment to peace. On circulated coins, these details often appear slightly flattened, though the overall imagery remains unmistakable. Above the eagle, the inscription, United States of America, curves along the rim. Even after years of circulation, these deeply struck letters typically remain readable and strong. Just beneath that phrase lies, E pluribus unum, a motto meaning, out of many, one. The letters of this motto can show faint wear or light grime in circulated condition, but their message still stands proudly across the coin's reverse. At the bottom of the reverse, the words, quarter dollar, appear. On circulated examples, the edges of these letters may look slightly smoothed, showing the coin's long time spent in commerce. Circulated quarters like this one often develop a blend of dull silver-gray tones and darker patches formed by natural dirt and oxidation. These colors tell the story of years spent in pockets, purses, register drawers, and vending machines. The rim of the coin frequently shows tiny nicks and dents, accumulated over decades of clinking against other coins. These imperfections are part of what makes circulated coins unique. Though the 1997 P quarter is not rare, its circulated condition provides an authentic snapshot of everyday American life in the late 1990s. Every scratch and worn area represents countless transactions and the passage of time. Collectors often appreciate circulated coins because they showcase real-world wear patterns. These patterns provide insight into the durability of U.S. coinage and the practicality of the designs that have endured for decades. For new numismatists, the 1997 P quarter offers an affordable and accessible piece of history. It serves as a great introduction to identifying mint marks, studying design elements, and understanding how circulation affects coin surfaces. More experienced collectors may view this coin as a reminder of the final chapter of the traditional eagle reverse. After 1998, this familiar design would give way to a series of rotating designs celebrating each U.S. state. Because of this impending change, many collectors look at 1997 quarters as part of the last era of classic Washington quarter design. They stand as markers of the period just before America's modern numismatic renaissance. Circulated condition coins often reveal subtle differences in strike quality. Some 1997 P quarters show sharper details than others, and wear can accentuate or obscure these original differences. Running your fingers over a circulated quarter allows you to feel the texture of its history. The smooth areas show where countless hands have touched it, while the rougher, darker patches reveal encounters with the environment. The coin's copper-nickel-clad composition ensures durability, which is why quarters from the 1990s continue to circulate widely today. Their toughness allows them to survive decades of use. Examining the reverse, the eagle's wing feathers may appear unevenly worn. This is typical of circulated quarters and helps numismatists identify the coin's level of wear and overall grade. The circulated appearance also gives the coin personality. Some collectors enjoy the contrast between worn areas and recessed details where dirt collects, creating a shadowed look that highlights the design. Coin roll hunters frequently encounter 1997 P quarters, though finding one in pristine condition is more challenging. Most have lived long, hard-working lives in circulation. Dirty patches or dark toning on the coin's surface do not reduce its historical appeal. In fact, they often add a sense of authenticity, reminding us that this coin served its purpose in everyday transactions. The 1997 P quarter stands as a bridge between eras, representing the closing years of the long-standing Washington quarter design that began in 1932 and carried America through numerous cultural and technological changes. As we near the end of this deep dive, it becomes clear that even common coins like the 1997 P quarter offer meaningful stories. Their value lies not only in rarity, but in the journey they've taken across time and countless hands. This circulated quarter may not shine with mint luster, but it shines in history. It reflects a period just before major changes in American coinage and remains a familiar piece of the nation's financial landscape. Next up, the Washington quarter dollar from 1982, struck with the P mint mark and found today in fully circulated condition. This iconic piece of American coinage carries both historical interest and numismatic value, especially for collectors who enjoy searching through older pocket change for hidden treasures. In this script, we're going to explore every angle of this 1982 Washington quarter so you can better understand its features, background, and what makes it worth talking about. The Washington quarter has long been admired for its clean and patriotic design, and the 1982 version is no exception. Even when found in a worn, circulated state, the coin offers a glimpse into the past, carrying decades of history through its scratches, faded surfaces, and softened edges. And because 1982 was a unique year in U.S. coin production, it gives collectors even more reason to pay attention. The 1982 P Washington quarter was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, and this was during a time when no mint sets were issued by the U.S. Mint. That means collectors had far fewer ways to obtain high-grade examples directly from the mint, making many 1982 coins, especially in excellent condition, more desirable today. But even circulated examples can hold interest, because they represent a period of transition in U.S. coin collecting. As you examine a 1982 P quarter in circulated condition, the first thing you'll likely notice is the general wear. The once sharp portrait of George Washington may appear slightly smoothed, with the finer hair details faded due to years of handling in daily commerce. The word Liberty across the top might have lost some of its crispness, and the date 1982 near the bottom may show rounded edges instead of clean, sharp lines. The P mint mark, located just to the right of Washington's ponytail, is an important identifier. Before 1980, Philadelphia minted quarters didn't carry a mint mark. By 1982, however, the P mark was consistently used, helping collectors distinguish Philadelphia strikes from those made in Denver or San Francisco. On a circulated 1982 quarter, this mint mark may appear faint, but it remains a key feature for identifying the coin's origin. Turning the coin over to the reverse, the majestic eagle design stands tall and symbolic. Even in circulated condition, you can still see the large wings outstretched across the coin. The eagle holds a bundle of arrows, symbolizing national defense, while olive branches beneath it represent the desire for peace. Wear is typically noticeable in the feathers and leg details, but the design remains powerful and recognizable. The inscriptions, United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, and $quarter surround the eagle, and on a heavily circulated coin, these letters may appear slightly flattened. Despite this, the layout and structure of the design still capture the essence of classic American coinage: simple, symbolic, and strong. Collectors today often look at 1982 quarters with a bit of fascination. Because of the lack of mint sets and the challenges of finding high-grade specimens, even circulated coins spark curiosity. While most circulated 1982 P quarters hold primarily face value, their backstory adds depth for collectors who enjoy filling gaps in date and mint mark sets. When talking about circulated condition, we're referring to a coin that has spent many years in the hands of the public. The coin may have discoloration, scratches, and general wear. Sometimes the coin's surface changes tone, taking on a darker or slightly dull appearance from oxidation and repeated contact with pockets, wallets, and vending machines. For this particular quarter, the circulated look tells a story of decades spent in real-life use. The tactile feel of a circulated quarter is different from that of an uncirculated one. Edges may feel smoother, and the ridges, known as reeding, might be worn down. The reeded edge is an important security feature originally meant to prevent shaving off small amounts of metal from the coin. On a 1982 circulated example, these reeds may be softened, though generally still visible. The value of a circulated 1982 P Washington quarter typically remains at face value, but the sentimental and historical appeal often outweighs its monetary worth. Some collectors simply enjoy assembling collections that span decades, and finding a quarter from the early 1980s brings nostalgia for a time before state quarters and before modern coin design started taking over. Another interesting aspect of the 1982 quarter is the composition. Like all quarters made after 1965, the 1982 version is made of a copper nickel clad, with a pure copper core sandwiched between nickel-based outer layers. In circulated condition, the coin may show slight color variations, especially where the copper core begins to peek through along the edges. No mint sets in 1982 also meant there were fewer preserved examples. Many available today are coins that circulated widely, and this makes the hunted high-grade versions more valuable. For the everyday circulated piece, though, it serves as a physical reminder of an era that didn't prioritize collectible releases. Another appealing part of studying a circulated quarter is imagining the life it has lived. Perhaps it passed through thousands of hands, used in countless purchases, arcade machines, soda vending, parking meters, and more. Each scratch, dull mark, and worn detail is a footprint of its journey. For coin enthusiasts producing YouTube content, the 1982 P Washington quarter makes a great subject because it teaches viewers about design, mint history, circulation wear, and collecting challenges. It's a great example to show new collectors why even a common coin can offer lessons. The quarter's presence in circulation for over 4 decades means that finding one today feels like rediscovering a piece of your own past. And when you pick it up and turn it under the light, the dull reflection hints at the stories, years, and people it encountered. One fun aspect for collectors is searching for potential errors. While most 1982 quarters are error-free, some may show light misstrikes or minor die variations. These are rare, but collectors love the thrill of the hunt, especially when looking at older circulated coins. The Philadelphia Mint that produced this coin is one of the oldest and most significant minting facilities in the world. Seeing the P mint mark on your 1982 coin connects you to centuries of American minting history. It's a small letter with a big legacy. The wear patterns on your circulated coin can also tell you about the environment it lived in. Sometimes coins take on a slightly darker tone from being in humid or dusty areas. Other times, they show smooth wear from spending years in pockets or jars. When filming a YouTube video about this coin, you can highlight how circulated coins still hold beauty. The worn details show character. The fading can emphasize age. and the darkened tones can create a vintage, rustic look that collectors appreciate. This is also a great opportunity to teach viewers about grading. Even though circulated coins are often lower grade, explaining the difference between fine, very fine, and extremely fine can add depth to your content and help your audience learn. The Washington Quarter's long-standing design is one reason it's so iconic. From 1932 all the way to the state quarter program in 1999, this design appeared on millions of circulating coins. The 1982 example is one of the coins sitting near the end of that era.